Pleasure being here with you, Carson. Thank you so much, man, for that warm introduction. I will be very brief tonight. I know no one is here to hear me. I do want to say a special shout out to my buddy, Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally. My dad died. My whole world was leaving me, I thought. And it was just me and Mama in there, and I looked up, and Randy McNally showed up. He'd had surgery the day before, and I was like, how the heck did you get here, McNally? And he said, I bribed the yard man $20. So he's my man. Congressman Jimmy Duncan, wonderful. Let's give Jimmy another one. The best compliment you can give Jimmy Duncan is he used to sit down front with some fellow Republicans, but I'll just say they weren't as conservative as this crowd. And they say, Burchett, you remind me a little bit of Duncan. And I'd say, well, how's that, Mr. Chairman? He said, he'd sit down here and joke with us. We'd go out to eat with him, but he'd always vote against us. I said, my buddy Jimmy Matlock here served in the House. Also, Doug Gunnels. Doug, where are you? When I came to the legislature, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I was very young. Doug kind of took me under his wing, and he's been a great friend since. And Doug, it's always good to see you, brother. Thank you so much. Chair lady, thank you. It's the one position I can tell you I'm very glad that I got beat when I ran for Knox County Chairman of the Republican Party. Can't get nothing right. We're having barbecue, I wanted chicken. We're having lobster, I wanted steak. You know, he's got a yard sign in his yard. She doesn't have my yard sign. I don't know why you wanted that, ma'am. I don't know that. But you'll get your reward in heaven, all right? I hope. But I'll be brief. When I walked up here, I was like, man, this is a great crowd. And my ego was a little pumped up, but then I made the mistake of running into Tony Akins, and he said, Burchett, ain't nobody here to hear you speak. They're here to Marcia, so shut up and keep it brief. So I'll do that, and I want to hear from her as well, but I'm thankful also to have my beautiful wife, Kelly, here with me. Thank you, Kelly. Isabel's at home tonight taking care of the horses. I'm off that duty just for a little while, I think. You can Google that if you don't know what I'm talking about. I have the opportunity sometimes to go into the Oval Office, and it's always a big honor. It really is. I see these guys bragging about it all the time, talking about it, and it's like it's no big deal. But honestly, when I go in there in the White House, I get chills. I walk out and I just think, what world I just left. A little kid from West Hills is representing you folks in the White House, but it was, on this last occasion, it was during the big, beautiful bill. We were in there. There's about 14 of us. It's a little bigger and more beautiful than I really anticipated. And President Trump, it was all the Freedom Caucus guys and me. As I like to tell Jim Jordan all the time, you get me for free, Jordan. He said, what do you mean by that, Burchett? And I said, well, I vote more conservative than all the members of your club, and you don't have to feed me a chicken dinner every Monday night. And he said, well, we appreciate that. So we're in there, and Trump goes through the deal, and for 2 hours, just answers questions. Not belittling, it was great. Had his people there, J.D. Vance was there, and we just had a great meeting, and it's not the leader that the liberals want you to think of. Look, I don't want Trump teaching my daughter's Sunday school class, but dadgum, I like him at Pennsylvania Avenue, don't you all? People always say, you've got some labor people here, they always say, oh, Trump can't negotiate with them, he can't negotiate with them. I hear the liberals say it. So dadgum, he can negotiate with Teamsters in New York City. I think he can handle a few of these punk dictators around the world. I think he can handle that. So when we go in there, and he's got the big, beautiful challenge coins. I don't know if anybody's seen those yet. It looks like a cowboy's belt buckle. It's classic Trump, it's bigger and better, and it is bigger and better than anybody's. So I said, oh, come on, you guys, get a coin, and we're all lining up, and he leans over and goes, I'll clean this up, because Tony's here. I know he doesn't approve of foul language, so I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. But he leans over and goes, Tim, I really like watching you on CNN. I said, why is that, Mr. President? He goes, because every time you're on, they fire somebody. Again, surreal moment, it'll be in my book. But look, I love this county. And I don't hear from y'all much. I think the reason is why. We agree on a lot of things. Men shouldn't be wearing dresses, and they shouldn't be playing in girls' sports. They shouldn't be in their dadgum bathrooms. We need to... We agree, taxes are too dadgum high. we've got to secure the border. How many people have come over the border since Trump's been in the last week? None. None. They're sending them home. The United States is going to be energy independent again. We're using those small nuclear reactors. Look, we can tell those people in the Middle East they can eat their dadgum oil. We're going to get it all right here. Another thing is, the good thing you've got good law enforcement, great DAs, great judges in this community, because we lock up death bags. That's a technical thing, by the way. My wife said to make sure to say something about something I've done. I'm on that dadgum Doge committee. Marjorie Taylor Greene used to be one of my best buddies in Congress, but I'm not sure now, because when her and Jasmine Crockett get into it, I swear I think Jasmine and her are going to hop over, going to get into like the ring or something, or wrestle, because man, they go at it. And I just look over there, and when they start, when Jasmine starts talking, I just put my head down and think, what world am I in? How did I get here and all this? But the Doge committee, we've done a lot of great things. I put in 24 bills myself to get at some of those cuts. A lot of them are in the big beautiful bill. A lot of them's going to come back over from the Senate. I know Marcia and I have talked about that. I was able to pass this bill, the defund the Taliban bill. It turns out we're sending about $40 million a week to the Taliban through NGOs, non-government organizations. Now, how does a non-government organization tend to get all your money? That's the question. How do they get all your tax dollars? It's crooked as a dog's leg. The whole thing's a sham. Trump's shutting it down right now. We've got the bill over in the Senate, and it's moving. I think it's going to move pretty quick. I know we had mention of the veterans, but Daddy fought in the Pacific. My mama flew an airplane. My wife's deceased husband, biological father of my child, was a Navy veteran. I want to recognize our veterans one more time. If y'all could just raise your hand one more time, veterans.